let's talk a little bit about Castlecore.
Oh my gosh, yes, the Middle Ages.
And where are we seeing that today as we watch our summer streams? I feel like there's one big influence in particular.
There sure is. House of the Dragon. Or we have fans out there. I'm a fan.
I was going to say Danielle is a big stan. I unfortunately have never seen the show.
Big stan.
I feel like you are.
Well, it's escapism. It's fun. And I think this is the last season, so I'm definitely going to stick with it. But yeah, the interiors, it's a little bit less literal, right? We're not going to be sleeping in, I don't know.
A dungeon.
Yeah, dungeons, exactly, right? Like no dungeon vibes, like no stone doors, but it's those deep, dark woods, right? It's that little bit of castle vibe with your tapestry. We've talked so much past episodes on site, on Apartment Therapy, about the tapestry that won't quit, the trend that won't quit. I mean, it works so well for this trend, for, medieval core. What are we calling it? Castlecore? We're calling it, Middle Ages. Yeah. It's not chainmail. We're not talking about, like, armor and, like, sort of that half of it. We're talking about kind of the warmer part of it. Like we said, the rich woods, the tapestries.
I haven't seen episodes of the show, but what I have seen on clips on social media, everything looks extremely livable. It looks layered. It looks just more warm, which is all things that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like the biggest thing to borrow from this is like the palette, right? So they're known for all the reds. So that's what you're going to see, a lot of deep reds, a lot of warm browns. Really a little bit more inviting of a vibe than you would think.
Right.
And you need the light. If you're going to go a little bit deeper and darker with your heavy woods, your darker colors, like the things that kind of feel a little bit like, not dungeony, but like, I don't know, like your chamber, your quarters, I don't know, right? Whatever it is back then, I think you need to let in the light. So maybe leave your windows undressed in, certain rooms where you can not have to worry about the privacy.
Right.
Let in the light. And go a little bit darker with the finishes.
Right. Castlecore isn't to be taken literally in that sense, You're saying it's a lot lighter than you might think. The details that we're seeing in this kind of aesthetic are not open flames of wood on the wall.
No. I mean, I guess like the Targaryen house in the show is all about dragons and fire and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think it's literal. I think it's more palette. I think it's like the maroons, the deep reds, and just kind of like the handmade of it all, because when you think back to those times, everything was handmade, right? So your ceramics have that sort of like hand touch feel to them. Maybe things have a little bit more texture. It's the visible grain in the wood. So it's like things like details like that. I don't want to say like primitive, but just a little more simple.
I would say if you're watching the show this summer and you're kind of taking notice of the details, just remember it's less about the fortress and more about, a room that you want to spend time in that feels quiet, warm, inviting. I would say like our through line, obviously we were talking about English country and now we're talking about Castlecore, but it's again the same historical approach to the way that we put together interiors. And I feel like the House of the Dragon, I haven't seen it yet, has made everyone suddenly like want that room that feels like it has like 700 years of history in it, even though it might be in your home that is less than, a few years old.
Yeah, and it's exactly what we've been saying. The earthy palette, the hits of iron, little handmade objects, maybe your terracotta pots or your ceramics that feel like they could be centuries old, and that wood grain, a little bit darker, heavy exposed wood. Some beams. I feel like beams are like, we didn't mention beams.
Yeah.
But now when I walk
ceiling details and flooring,
I'm going to be looking for the beams. Y'all.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this season takes you. As you continue on as a viewer, I will join you at some point. I will hop on the
seasons.
I'll hop on the wooden bandwagon.
Dragon bandwagon.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Fast.